Hi, it's David Worrell, your DIY CFO, and I have got an exciting new legislative update for you on the PPP. It was a big day in Washington for small business owners like you and me, and there were about five things that changed today or are about to change that I need to tell you about. So, first of all, the Senate passed the House version of the bill. There were no changes, no amendments. The Senate was on recess, so they passed it by unanimous consent, which is pretty cool because we know the House bill pretty well. Now we don't have to read up on what they changed. The bill is on President Trump's desk as we speak, and let's just assume that it passes President Trump. He is expected to sign it. When he does, here's what's gonna change in our life. I think it's all for the better. So first of all, you've been hearing about the 24-week period. That's a sure thing. That's in the bill. It would take our 8 weeks and turn it into 24. So now you could actually choose. If you've already spent all your money in that 8 week period, fine, no problem. But if you have had a problem spending enough money fast enough or keeping enough people employed, you now have 24 weeks. That's all the way till November for me, to hire enough people back, to spend all the money to qualify for forgiveness, and to do everything else that's required by the law. So 24 weeks. That includes remember the June 30th date where you had to fix any deficiencies? It was a safe harbor date, we were calling it, where if you haven't hired enough people during the 8 week period, you could fix that problem by June 30th. Well, that's been extended to December 31st. So on December 31st, if you have rehired enough full-time employee equivalents, then that's going to guarantee that you get no penalties against your forgiveness amount. So that's a good news for us. And again, you can choose June 30th or December 31st if you're using the 8 week period, of course. All right, this next big change was the 75% rule. Boy, I've talked a lot about the 75% rule, and now it's a 60% rule. However, there's something else that goes along with that. So you can spend as little as 60% of your forgiveness amount on payroll. However, you have to spend at least 60% of the entire loan on payroll in order to qualify for forgiveness at all. They're calling this a cliff. So if you don't spend at least 60% of what you got on payroll, then it's possible that they will not give you forgiveness on any of the loan. So you'd have to repay 100% of the loan. Okay, so make sure you got 60% of your money spent on payroll, and that shouldn't be hard to do now that you've got until December 31st to do it, right? So you can take your time. All right, so that's the 60% rule. You got 24 weeks, and you have two new ways to make safe harbor. So this goes back to the June 30th discussion, but we were told that if we can't hire enough people, that it would be okay if we extend job offers to people and they decline those job offers, especially people we're trying to hire back, right? They're sitting at home on unemployment. They don't want to come in because they might catch COVID, whatever that is. If they decline your offer, that's okay. So we've taken it further. The Senate took it further and now says you may also claim that you've been unable to restore your business because of COVID, meaning there's some real reason why you can't get all of your staff back to work, or because you can't find qualified people. So I don't know, that's a pretty broad brushstroke. It sounds difficult to me to prove or to document that you can't find a qualified person. But if that's your song, then you sing it well. You can put that down on December 31st and say, I was unable to find qualified people, and that will eliminate their reason for disqualifying your expenses. In other words, it will not be counted against you for forgiveness purposes. All right. Best news yet, you now have 5 years instead of 2 years to repay any loan. So we hope that you get full forgiveness. I can help you get full forgiveness, but if you end up with a portion of this that's a loan, that will be repaid over 5 years, not just 2 as previously. Okay, now you're up to date. I hope you will subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the bell so that you get a notification every time I give you a new update. I'll be back with more as soon as Trump signs this bill. And if you haven't heard, I have a masterclass starting soon on everything PPP. So how to apply for it, how to get forgiveness for it, how to account for it, and what strategies you might want to use that are completely different than having it forgiven. So if you're interested in those things, then write me an email or call me or leave me a message here that you're interested in our masterclass, and I'll make sure you get an invitation. All right, thanks very much.